start with a very simple question. Where are we with AI today? So the thing is that we as individuals are adopting AI very fast. And this is the data coming from Microsoft and LinkedIn just released last week, where 75% of knowledge workers are using AI at work today. But there is a challenge. And the challenge is that 78% of these users are actually bringing their own tools to work. So what it means is that without this unified strategy, companies are facing not just productivity inefficiencies, but the security risks. So I'm not saying this to scare you off, because this is actually an opportunity for you where you need to take the ownership of this change. Because if you look at this, AI is just another digital transformation that your company need to go through. The challenge with changes, as we might all know, is that a lot of these initiatives fail. Actually, 70% of the change management initiatives fail. It's even higher when you look at AI projects. It can be even like 80%. So the key here is to do it right. And I have a super good news. So we'll not just talk about adopting AI, but how actually AI can help you implement AI. So it's like an AI inception, right? So I'm wondering, how ready do you feel about adopting AI in your organization before we start chatting how it actually needs to be done? So there is a Zoom poll. So let's dive right into it. The answers are AI, bring it on, cautiously optimistic, a bit overwhelmed, skeptical but curious, still figuring this out. So let's give it 5 more seconds. And I will take a sip of water and let's see what is the status, how you emotionally see the adoption within your organization. So I think we can slowly start closing the pool and seeing the results. Okay, so cautiously optimistic, number 1, then AI, bring it on. And this is 66%. And then the rest around 10%. Very cool. So definitely there is an optimism. There is a lot of curiousness how to do it. And this is how we will proceed. We'll focus on the framework, on a very practical approach called a STEP framework. So STEP is a process that simplifies the AI integration in the workplace through 4 areas: task segmentation, role transitioning, education, and performance evaluation. The good thing is that it's been already proven that it works. And the cool thing is that it's not just about adopting AI, but actually adopting AI that is increasing the employee satisfaction, even up to 72%. So we have this North Star that we can have a win-win, AI, and increase the employee satisfaction. So what actually STEP stands for? So the first one is segmentation. So we'll talk about how you can categorize tasks into the ones that should be automated, the ones that should be augmented, and the ones that should be human only. This is the starting point to really understand and also to get rid of the fears that I'll be replaced by AI. No, the truth is that some of the things that you're doing can be automated. So you should focus on the ones that are augmented or where the AI should be not involved at all. Then we'll talk about the transition. So how you can actually redistribute the tasks between the roles once the segmentation is done. Then the third stage, it's all about education. So nothing new, but in the era of AI, the reskilling, upskilling is absolutely crucial and needs to be ongoing. So the lifelong learning thing that we all know, especially in the HR world right now, needs to become an everyday reality. And then performance. The last piece is about measuring the adoption and constantly improving how this process is actually going. So let's go now one by one, diving deeper. And in the segmentation one, I have a little surprise for you. So in the segmentation piece, it's really about understanding what are the categories and how AI can be embedded into existing workflows, right? The cool thing is that you can actually hire AI, you can use an AI assistant to get the insights, to start proceeding with an audit of your work processes, so you're not alone, right? The exercise that we would be doing here together in a second, as one of them, will be to categorize the tasks that you're doing at your job, right? So what is the framework here? So the first group is humans only. So these tasks AI can't or shouldn't do because, for example, it requires human empathy, complex decision making, right? When we're looking from the HR field, it could be a conflict resolution, employee counseling, right? Okay, so then there is a second group, and this is right now the largest group and is growing with the growth of AI capabilities. So this is the augmentation. So this is the piece where AI is helping you, is semi-automating, is providing insights, but you're still guiding AI, right? So it can be resume screening, it can be sentiment analysis, the things that you define the process, you're guiding the process, but AI is making this process happen faster and faster, right? So you can also have time for other things. And then the third area, it's automation. We cannot be scared of automation. We should look at this as an opportunity to improve our operational inefficiencies, but also simply as humans, like not to do stuff that we don't like, that is like boring, mundane tasks, right? So once you understand this in the beginning, it will be a game changer. So from the HR side, scheduling interviews, onboarding emails, or payroll processing, right? So right now I mentioned that AI can help with this. So there is this frame of like AI powered change management. And I wanted to show you how this could look like for data collection. So instead of having manual surveys and a bunch of one-on-one interviews, you can do AI interviews with your employees. So are you ready for the showtime? So the showtime begins. Please meet the AI readiness guide that you'll interact with just in a second. So in the next 5 minutes, it will help you segment your tasks into augmented, automated, and human only. It will help you prioritize which of these tasks you should start working on. And then at the end, it will calculate your AI automation score. So let's get right into it. There are two options. If you're if you're on your computer on Zoom, the team is sharing right now a link with you. So please go to Zoom chat, look for the link. Maybe if it can be shared twice in case there are some discussions, so you make sure that you have it. If you're on your mobile phone, or if you can just scan this QR code, you can do it. So this is the step number one. To get access, it's free, no worries. The second step is once you get to the link, add your email address. So super simple. And on this email address, you will get the link to your AI assistant that would help do the AI magic. Important thing, please check spam folder, because sometimes these emails end in the spam folder. It will be from AI Mentor, and the subject will be your chat access code. So in case some of you are still with us, or not still with us, but you're looking at my screen, or you're listening to me. So I will right now share the conversation that I had, and hopefully if you can just tell me if you can see my screen. Probably you can. So this is the conversation that I had. So basically, AI asked me about my job title. So I said that I'm an HR manager, and asked me about my company industry and the size. So it knows more about the processes that it will suggest. So I said I work as an HR manager in an education sector, and we're about 200 employees. Perfect. So then AI had a deep thought, and then it said, hey, here's the breakdown of tasks commonly performed by HR managers in education sector. Please review and let me know if something needs to be adjusted. And basically the exercise that we're having right now is that it analyzed my job, listing the tasks. So it's maintaining employee records, analyzing staff turnover data, conducting initial resume screening, running orientation program, scheduling interviews, developing training programs. The list goes on. And then it's also evaluating the complexity of the tasks, the variability, how frequently it changes, and the dependency on others, and if the sensitive data is involved, right? Okay, and then it's asking like does it sound like your job? And I'm like, yeah, sure, looks good. So then it's like a couple of questions like, how familiar am I with AI? Which of the tasks that I would like to actually prioritize when I would be working on implementing, and then how open I am to integrating AI into this, right? So I want to focus on training, and I'm very open to this. So then we're going into the second phase, which is actually telling me like, okay, so from all of the stuff that you're doing, this is the stuff where these are the tasks that you should augment them with AI. So in this case, conducting initial resume screening and scheduling interviews and meetings. Those are the AI. Those are the jobs that AI can help you with, and this is the impact that you can have. And those are some example of tools that you can use. Then the same goes for automation, and then the same goes for human only. So I still have stuff that I should be doing as human, right? And just for you to know, like I just asked it in the backend to list only 10 tasks, so it can be way more, and I can also going back and forth on adjusting some of these things, right? So this is just a preview. Okay, so I like it. Then AI is telling me like, okay, so those are the things that you should actually prioritize because they're simple but high importance, right? So it's giving you a metric. So for all of these, all of you that are right now talking with AI, after the segmentation of the tasks, you will learn more about the ones that are your low-hanging fruits, right? So you know really where to focus, and you will get also some guidance and next steps on how you should do it, right? Okay, so I got the implementation metrics. I have the tasks that I should be focusing on, and the last thing is it's going to calculate my AI automation score for these tasks, right? So then AI did an AI automation potential score and augmentation potential score. So for all of these tasks, I got a rating, so I can really understand which of them I should be focusing on, where there's the potential for me to enhance them with AI, and then you're getting like a full explanation on the logic. So that's what I did. I'm really curious how was it, or is it still for you? So we will be right now coming back to the presentation. The presentation on next few slides, there are screenshots of what I shared with you. So AI created and analyzed my tasks. AI segmented my tasks. AI suggested implementation, and then AI calculated the scores, right? What I want to emphasize here, why this exercise, that you can really improve the process of getting the insights from your employees, right? So this point, right? You can make it way more interactive and engaging. We see that our clients have an 81% engagement rate for people that are building these assistants for any type of interviews process. And you can come up with any type of ideas without being a need to be a software engineer, right? So I think it's pretty cool to get rid of Google Forms and all of these kind of approaches to gather the data and scale it. So the second step is the transition. So the transition, it's all about optimizing the roles for AI, right? And here we will have a mix of the AI assistants that you can actually create, plus types of events where you're inviting people to actually co-create this AI adoption together, right? So I will give you a very short overview. So an AI hackathon is an event that can last either hours or a few days, where you're using no-code tools, so you don't need to be a software engineer, and you're really prototyping something that you can use right away after the hackathon. So it's not this like, oh, it would be awesome with after like 3 months or 6 months, we would have something that can help us at work. No, you're actually brainstorming and building something something, it can be, for example, an AI assistant, very quickly. And hosting this internally, either for a team or for the company, helps get people together and helps them co-create and really focus on the challenges that they have, so you can really see the impact. So it's not like this, oh my God, this AI thing, but what it actually can help me with. No, very practical. So that's number one on the transition. Strongly encourage you to think about hackathons. Second thing, working groups. So really build working groups, build an ongoing process where people are meeting and working and discussing this. Last but not least, think about having an assistant that is guiding people through this process, that is basically like their personalized 24/7 support, because you cannot be available and you don't have all the context. So everyone should have this assistant that is helping them through the transition. So once we have the transition done, then we are actually working and we need to focus on education. So on education, upskilling, reskilling, this is extremely important these days. And actually here you can use multiple AI assistants to help you, either to identify the skill gap, or to develop the learning programs, or to actually deliver them, but really foster continuous learning. This is extremely important here. So number one, AI assistant coach. It's really good for business cases feedback. So it's not just someone that's watching a self-paced video or like reading something, but they can actually then do a business case and get instant feedback. And you're training this assistant, you're telling this how to give this feedback, and it's specific to your industry or to your company. So it's a really, really game changer for training purposes. And then we're also talking about AI adoption here. It's like win-win, right? Then the second thing, we all know the term of like personalized learning paths, but with AI, you can really go on the really, really individual level, right? So basically each individual can have a learning path that is also interactive if it consists a assistant. So that's extremely important. So one of the things with AI is that you can personalize at scale, and you can personalize learning at scale as well. Last but not least, I strongly encourage everyone, regular updates. Don't keep people in the dark. It can be sync, it can be async, and share the success stories of the champions that you have internally of these AI success stories, okay? So the step number 4, it's all about performance. It's all about measuring where we are. And of course, like, it's a change management project, so we need to have KPIs, we need to have feedback, we need to see how things are progressing, right? I wanted to share with you a few metrics that might be worth discussing here. So first of all around AI utilization rate, right? So actually measure the percentage of the tasks that are augmented or automated by AI, and then how are they completed? What's the time saved? What's the error reduction, etc. Then the second piece is actually the training completion, because training is like a core here. So those are all the things that you as skilled HR professionals know, but I just wanted to emphasize that it needs to be a part of this as well. And then last but not least, it's AI tool usage frequency. So how frequently people are using this, what's the complexity of these tasks that you're using. So those are some inspirations for you when we're talking about adopting AI. Okay. So our session is coming to an end. So I wanted to finish off with an action plan. So you're finishing this session like, all right, Ivo, you shared a bunch of stuff, but what do I need to do right now? Okay, cool. So first of all, really talk with your employees. So this is this readiness check, right? So what you did with the assistant in the last during this meeting for a few minutes, it can be anything. You can program it in any way, but the goal here is that you're getting their insights, their emotions as well. So you can identify the gaps, you can identify the skill gaps, the emotions. Like, this is the place where you gather the data. So that's absolutely number one exercise that you need to do. Then the second thing, what I mentioned, is a town hall. So host a session. It can be on a team level, it can be on a company level, right? But make sure that people are included and people see the process, that, hey, maybe you implement the step framework, and then there will be a hackathon, and then people will get personalized support, right? The last thing that you want to do is like keep people in the dark, and then we're like, oh my God, are they going to replace me? No, 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 it's absolutely not this. But the more open you are, the more inclusive you are, the better co-creation and engagement is, and the better outcome, right? Then the third step is the segmentation. You really need to understand which tasks will be human only, which will be augmented, and which will be automated. So then we are all on the same page where we are heading, and then how the time that you're freeing up from your plate, where you're automating things, what are the other stuff that you can do, right? And how company can support you if it's about reskilling, for example, right? Then I strongly encourage you to think about AI hackathons as a way to brainstorm and prototype AI solutions. Once again, you don't need to be a software engineer. There are a bunch of no-code tools. AI Mentor is one of them, but there are also others that can help you build stuff very quickly and very quickly see results. Then, last but not least, remember that AI assistants are these magical supporters, magical guides that are helping guide your employees through this transition. So provide them this support. This is the magic that you can really leverage when it comes to adopting AI. Use AI in the process.